Yes, yes,
I
yes.
remember as being at Sundance, like, all right, so this girl is a star, New York's own. I was like, okay. And I've been watching your work ever since. You have a really versatile, diverse group of work. And congratulations on all your success from one New Yorker to the next.
Yes, thank you, Valerie. That means a lot to me. Yes, yes.
Um, you from Brooklyn or the Bronx?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay, okay, just
East
making
New
sure.
York, born and raised, baby, baby.
I was gonna say just because us natives, we're rare.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so the first question I wanted to ask you is how much did you initially know about Fred Hampton before shooting Judas and the Black Messiah?
Yeah, well, I actually only first heard about Fred Hampton when I was in college. I,
Hmm.
I was part of the BSU, the Black Student Union, and the president mentioned his "I am a revolutionary" speech, and I just remember being like, "Oh my God, how come I don't know about this man?" But I was doing so much. I was in school. A lot of times, I was the only Black person in my class at Pace University. So and I was in a sociology class where this young white man said if African American males in low income communities dressed normally, they wouldn't be stopped by the police. And I was like, what? And I tried to debate with him, and I'm stumbling over my words. And I looked around, and nobody could advocate with me, because they didn't know. So I decided that I would write a one woman show. It's called Subverted, and it's about the destruction of Black identity in America. Had the slave side and modern day side, and they were paralleling to show comparisons. Because I said, for an hour and 20 minutes, this predominantly white university is going to have to sit through truths of mine and of people who grew up in neighborhoods like mine. And so I was reading about the Black Panther Party. I had watched the Black Power mixtape, which first introduced me to Stokely Carmichael and Angela Davis and Asada. And I saw these afros, and I was like, oh my God, that's beautiful. They are beautiful. I can be like that. I never wanted to show my hair. It was like all of that, those social conditionings. And so, but I didn't know too much about Chairman Fred. I knew that his wife was pregnant with his child, and she had shelled his body, but that was kind of all I knew. And so I only started to learn so much more about the Black Panther Party when I got involved and the family got involved to be there with us.
And all right, so this is a loaded question, but when did you learn about COINTELPRO?
Uh-huh. I
Um,
learned.
I'm just sorry. I'm just wondering when you learned about COINTELPRO, and was there a period of time that left you surprised at how evil things can be?
No, I wasn't surprised at how evil things could be because I'm from East New York, and so I had instances,
Right.
I had instances with the police where my grandmother was on an oxygen tank, and they would come when we're sitting outside and flash the light in our faces and be like, "Y'all smoking over here?" When my grandmother's on an oxygen tank, 75th precinct. So like there was a lot of injustices that I saw, and so I wasn't surprised. I had like came across this book called the FBI's War on Tupac Shakur and Other Black Leaders, and I was like, then that's when I first heard about COINTEL, and I think that was probably around 2015, 2016, stuff like that, because I was writing, and I knew that a lot of the work that I was going to be writing was going to be around Black history, as an avid fan of Black history. And then actually before I knew that Shaka was doing Judas and the Black Messiah, I was writing my own like romance, a Romeo and Juliet, Black Panther Party meets Romeo and Juliet type of thing called Gwendolyn and Sekou. So I was reading A Taste of Power by Elaine Brown, who was a Panther in the Oakland chapter, and it was a female's perspective. So all along I'm doing this, and then the universe had this other thing all in motion.
Speaking of universe, how did you and Shaka come together around this project?
Yeah, Shaka said he first saw me in Show Me a Hero, which was my first HBO David Simon project. And I had gotten an email saying that Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield was going to be in this Fred Hampton movie, and Shaka wanted me to play Deborah Johnson, and I was like I'm rereading the email, like, wait, is this an offer or do I have to I was like not trying to get too excited. So when I met Shaka, he's from Brooklyn as well. When I met him in a Brooklyn cafe, and he told me like he wanted me for the role, I'm like, wait, like it's mine or do you gotta ask somebody? Like he was like,
Right,
no,
right.
it's yours. I was like, because I don't want to get too hype. And he said it's yours, so I want you to read the script. and let me know what you think. And I think one of the first questions that I asked was the family involved. You know, that was really important for me because I knew that Mama Akua, formerly known as Deborah Johnson, was still alive.
Mm.
And he said they were working on it, but read the script and let him know what I think. And I read the script and I gave him a whole long email. I would give Shaka like 3-page essays on Deborah Johnson, on the women in the party, and making sure that we show this, and I hope we show this. And it would be while we were filming at times as well, and he always made room. But in the very beginning, I sent him a whole long email, all the things that I love, and I said I have 2 thoughts. I don't want to overstep. Let me know if you want to hear them. And he said, "You'll be playing her. You can't overstep." And he asked me my notes, and so that's kind of how it initially started with Shaka.
You and Daniel Kaluuya have like, and I wrote this in my review too, that y'all sort of like move as one. There's like more than chemistry, but there's like a synergy there. Where I don't know, it just works so well. Is that something that you had to develop with Daniel as an actress, or is it was it more sort of kismet? You first met and clicked and knew it was going to work.
Yeah, I think it was a bit. I think it was a bit kismic because I had met him at the Gotham Awards when Get Out was like really like popular and everything, and I saw him there, and I just went up to him and I was like, "Hey, I'm really proud of you. I'm happy for you. Congratulations." He was like, "Thank you," and that was kind of it, you know. And then all of a sudden, Shaka's telling me about this thing. But in terms of working with Daniel and that you saying this it means a lot to me because that was my that's kind of how I'm coming through it from the love lens. Like I'm an epic romantic myself, but like that was like my part of the story what I concentrated on. But no, Daniel is we had to go to Chicago and we talked to the family for like 7 hours, and Chairman Fred Jr. said I want to go around the table and I want to hear why every single one of you want to do this movie. I'm talking about Ryan Coogler, Shaka King, like Charles King, everybody, and Daniel was next to me and he went first, and the way that Daniel spoke about his experiences and what it means to him, it really galvanized me. I saw myself being like, well, this must be what Chairman Fred did to the people he spoke to, and it made me want to rise to the occasion of like, how could I be what Mama Cool, what Deb was to Chairman, the way that, like for Daniel, not just as his not as his scene, not just as a scene partner or as the characters, but as a person,
Mhm.
as a friend, because I feel like we're gonna be in each other's lives forever. You know what I mean? And so that was kind of it. And I just started watching. Mama Okua said at the meeting that we had that the Panthers were very disciplined, and there's certain things that she would not have said to Chairman. And I found it hard to believe because she's so fiery. She's
Mhm.
like a rocket off the, like, you know what I'm saying? And but as I started doing this film and working with Daniel and like watching how he took up space, I saw myself kind of forming, like, you know what I'm saying, like the ebb and flow, like how he moved influenced how I moved, and I wasn't really thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think it was all of the instinctive stuff, the intuition stuff, but I was also journaling as my character every day. The journal that she carries in the movie is something that I worked on endlessly. So I would make poems about the first time she saw him, the
Mhm.
first kiss. The poem that she says to Chairman in the movie is one that Shaka let me write. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I really got to put my stamp in it and my heart into it. And so because I was journaling, putting a lot of Nina Simone songs to everything that I was doing, Do What You Gotta Do is a song where she says, although this may mean I'll never kiss your sweet lips again, pay that no mind. Go out and find that dream of yours and just come back and see me when you can. Like
Mhm.
that resonated to me because Chairman Fred is the dream.
Right.
And what does that dream look like if it's inside of me? You know what I mean? And so I
Mhm.
was really just navigating and watching how he moved. A lot of times I'd be looking at him, he's like, what are you looking at? I'm like, nothing. Like, and then he'll say something, I'll be like, oh, I know. He's like, what do you mean? How you know? I'm like, because I'm just watching how you do such and such. What would you see? Right? Like we were just kind of in that space, and I really learned how to trust so much so, and I learned unconditional love being on this set, playing Deborah Johnson influenced the woman that I am today. I'll never be the same because of this role and because of the people that I got to share space and time with. It was phenomenal.
I just have two more questions. Uh, the first one is, How did they already see the film, and how did they react to it? And if they've seen it and reacted to it, how did their reactions impact you?
So Chairman Fred Jr. was on set like almost every day. Mama Akua came only certain times because it was a lot for her to
Mhm.
handle. But I remember the first day she came to set, I was like, well, that's where I'm not gonna go. Like, I'm not gonna go by video film. I'm gonna stay up here with the actors. And I did the scene, and then they're like, oh, Mama Cool wants to see you. And I'm like, okay. so,
Yeah.
so I go downstairs, and Chairman Fred Jr. is crying. He's like, I'm not crying, it's my allergies. And then Mama Cool hugs me and says, you did that mother scene. That was the Deborah Johnson up there. You did that. And that was like such a weight off of my shoulder because, when we met at the Hampton House, she said it herself, like she was definitely giving me a lot of side eye, you know what I mean? And she was trying to see the kind of vibe or energy that I had, the kind of strength that I had. And so I was very respectful, but I also let her know this is my stance. This is how I feel. This is how I internalize things. And by the end of that meeting, I gave her a hug and I said, I hope you know my heart. And she says, I do. I just had to give you a hard time. She kind of reminded me of my grandmother in that way. So for her to come to the set and say that was a weight off my shoulder because we don't have a lot of footage of her as a teenager, and because of legal reasons, and the family is very protective of their story, as they should be. So she wasn't giving out stories and anecdotes and so much so of her experiences. I had to just go off of what I felt. And so for her to say that allowed me to say, okay, I must be going in the right direction. I'm fortunate that I get to do this. So that was kind of having them on set. And then I got to do an interview with her yesterday, and she said watching Daniel and I made her miss that love.
Oh, okay.
And that to me was like, because that was my main objective. I told Shaka, like, listen, like, I want to make sure that the love is there. I want to make sure that no matter what, by the end of the film, you could believe that she would shield his body. She would do what she did. 9 months pregnant, that she would do that. How do I get there? I'm watching Daniel. Chairman Fred has dimples. Does Daniel have dimples? Oh, he does. Like, I'm really trying to make internally make the relationship, but Daniel didn't make it hard at all. He's such a dynamic leader person. He's so charismatic and caring. He's acceptive of people's opinions, no matter what they are, and he's just a phenomenal person to learn from.
My last question is, take without spoilers, can you take us through the emotional journey of the character and of the person in the film, from when she meets Fred Hampton to the end? What does that emotional journey look like for you?
Yeah, I appreciate this question. Thank you.
Hmm.
Uh, because I thought about it a lot. Like I said, I have the journal. I take it with me everywhere. And so, I was imagining, okay, she's going to the Black Panther Party is coming to speak at her school, right? Like, I felt like because I made that, me and Shaka made that she was a journalist, like a journalist major, and I felt that she felt a bit empty. Like, she knew that she had a bigger purpose. What is her purpose? How does she find it? And how is it fair that some people get to start off knowing their purpose and other people don't? And she's really I'm journaling, questioning these things. And so I write, I'm hopeful that when I see the Black Panther Party speak, maybe it will tell me what I'm supposed to do. And so fortunately for her, that was the case. And she starts off being just enamored. She's enamored by this man, but she also knows, well, maybe you shouldn't speak to people like that. Maybe you should give them a little, she's not afraid to say what she knows as well. And I really appreciated that dynamic. And so at the beginning, she's this young 18-year-old girl just looking for purpose. And then by the end, she becomes a revolutionary, a comrade, a mother to be, a wife. She becomes all of these things that she never knew that she was able to kind of become in that way. Yeah.
I mean, Deborah Johnson's experience echoes so much of what the Black woman experience is in America, becoming so many things at once because of trauma. And that was what stuck with me personally the most, is like we all grow up way too fast, and it's most of the time it's not our fault.
Mhm.
Um, we just live in a system that forces us, you know, as children to be that way, and then calls us women when we're 14, you know? So I want to say that I really appreciate your performance. You deserve all the accolades and
Thank
all the
you.
award nominations and everything. Poet, New York's own Dominique Fishback, thank you
Thank,
so much
thank
for
you guys.
chatting with another New Yorker like myself.
Yes,
And
yes,
I am Valerie Complex for Awards Watch. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. You stay safe.
you too.
And I hope you talk to some other journalists that have good questions.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I hope to
Thank
see you
you.
soon. I hope to see you soon. We could get an in-person thing happening.
You'll see me around.
All right.
Take care of yourself.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.